Welcome to Zen Buddhism, where gentle stories carry you to peace. This tale invites rest, a soft path to calm. Tonight, we touch a simple truth, speaking with a heart of peace. No striving needed, only openness. Peace sleeps within you, ready to bloom. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Let this story carry you, like a breeze, into a journey of serene rest. Chapter 1. Embracing your pain, the first step to healing. In the gentle embrace of Zen, we learn to meet our suffering with a tender heart, not turning away from the shadows of loneliness or depression, but inviting them in with kindness, as one would a weary traveler seeking rest. Society often casts a heavy veil over emotional pain, urging us to conceal our struggles behind smiles or silence. For fear of judgment or shame, we are taught to bury our sorrow, to pretend it does not exist. Yet this denial only deepens the wound, leaving us adrift in a sea of unacknowledged grief. In the Buddhist way, we pause. We breathe. We look upon our suffering with compassion, seeing it not as an enemy, but as a teacher, whispering truths about our shared humanity. To acknowledge pain is to open a door to transformation, to allow the heart to soften, to let the light of awareness seep into the cracks of our being. This gentle recognition, this willingness to sit with our discomfort, is the first step toward healing, a quiet awakening to the possibility of peace. We do not rush to fix or flee, but simply rest in the truth of what is, holding our pain with the same care we would offer a fragile flower. In this moment of presence, we begin to see that suffering, when met with love, becomes a path to freedom. And so, we turn to the heart's quiet stories, where pain often hides in the folds of daily life. In a bustling town, nestled between rolling hills, there lived a weaver whose hands danced with threads, creating tapestries that adorned the homes of many, yet whose heart carried a silent weight. Each morning, she rose before dawn, her loom humming with purpose, her fingers weaving intricate patterns to drown out the ache of loneliness that lingered within her. The townsfolk praised her work, their voices loud with admiration, but none saw the quiet sorrow in her eyes, the unspoken wish to be truly seen. She hid her pain behind the clatter of her loom, believing that endless work could fill the emptiness, that productivity could shield her from the truth of her heart. Yet, the more she wove, the heavier her burden grew, each thread a reminder of the connection she craved but could not find. Her days blurred into nights, her hands never still, yet exhaustion seeped into her bones, not from the labor, but from the refusal to pause, to feel, to acknowledge the loneliness that whispered her name. In her avoidance, she found only deeper emptiness, a hollow echo where joy might have lived. The weaver's story teaches us that to deny our pain is to carry it alone, but to turn toward it with gentleness is to begin weaving a new tapestry, one stitched with understanding, with hope, with the quiet promise of healing. In the tender practice of Zen, embracing pain becomes a sacred act, a gentle surrender to the truth of our emotions without judgment or resistance. When we allow loneliness, sadness, or fear to simply be, we strip away their power to consume us. For in non-resistance, we discover that pain is not a wall, but a doorway. Buddhism teaches us to meet our suffering as we would a dear friend, with warmth, with patience, with an open heart that says, I see you, and I am here. This self-compassion softens the edges of our sorrow, allowing us to hold our emotions as we would a fragile bird, not to cage it, but to let it breathe. By accepting our pain without pushing it away or clinging to it, we create space for healing, a quiet shift where the heart begins to mend. We learn to speak kindly to ourselves, to offer the same understanding we would give to someone we love, whispering words of comfort in moments of despair. This practice is not about erasing pain, but about transforming our relationship with it, seeing it as a fleeting guest rather than a permanent burden. Through this gentle acceptance, we find that our suffering, once so heavy, begins to lighten, revealing a path to inner peace. In this compassionate embrace, we step through the doorway of transformation, where healing blooms like a lotus in the quiet stillness of the heart. With this understanding, let us pause to practice, to sit with our pain in a moment of self-compassion. Find a quiet space where the world's noise fades and sit comfortably, letting your body rest. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your chest, then release it slowly, letting tension slip away. Notice your breath, steady and soft, like a gentle stream carrying you inward. Now, bring to mind a feeling of loneliness or sadness, not to dwell in it, but to meet it with kindness. Whisper to yourself, I see you, my pain, and I am here for you. Let these words settle like a warm blanket over your heart. If discomfort arises, do not turn away, but breathe through it, gently persisting, allowing the feeling to exist without judgment. Say again, I am here, my pain, and I hold you with care. Feel the warmth of your own compassion, like sunlight touching a shadowed place. If your mind wanders, return to your breath, anchoring yourself in this moment of tenderness. Repeat the affirmation, I see you, my pain, and I am here for you, letting it sink deeper each time. This practice is a gift to yourself, a moment of stillness where you honor your emotions with love. As you open your eyes, carry this gentleness with you, knowing that each time you meet your pain with compassion, you nurture the seeds of healing within. And so, we reflect on this journey, inviting you to carry this practice into your life. In the gentle teachings of Zen, we learn that embracing our pain is not a burden, but a beginning, the first step toward healing, where we meet our suffering with love. By acknowledging loneliness or sadness with compassion, we open a path to transformation, where the heart finds peace in simply being present. This practice of self-compassion, of holding our pain as we would a dear friend, allows us to soften, to heal, to grow. We invite you to pause today, to try the meditation shared, to sit with your emotions and offer them kindness. Notice how it feels to say, I see you, my pain, and I am here for you. Share your experience, your reflections, your moments of quiet awakening. For in sharing, we weave a tapestry of connection and understanding. If this story of healing has touched your heart, subscribe to Zen Buddhism, join our community, and let us spread peace together. Each step you take, each moment of compassion you offer yourself, is a ripple of light in the world. Let us walk this path of gentleness together with open hearts. Chapter 2. You are not your depression. The story of the hidden lotus. In a quiet village cradled by gentle hills and whispering streams, a villager wandered daily past the small, forgotten pond. One soft morning, their eyes caught a faint shimmer beneath the thick, murky mud at the water's edge. It was a lotus, its delicate petals cloaked in heavy sludge, hidden from the world. To the villagers hurrying by, it seemed worthless, just a fragment of the pond's decay. Dismissed without a second glance, they saw only the mud, dull and unyielding, and turned away, their minds occupied with daily tasks. Yet this lone villager paused, drawn to the mystery of what lay beneath. Kneeling by the pond, their fingers brushed the cool, damp earth. Sensing something alive, something radiant, waiting silently below. This lotus, buried and unseen, was not defined by the mud that held it. It was a symbol of the self, untouched and pure, waiting to be uncovered. Even when the world saw only the surface, its presence stirred a quiet hope, a whisper that beauty could exist beneath the weight of struggle. Just as the self endures beyond the shadows of despair, the village, like many minds, was quick to judge. The pond was a place they passed without thought, their eyes skimming the muddy surface, assuming it held nothing of value. The lotus, cloaked in earth, was invisible to their hurried glances, mistaken for part of the decay. This judgment was not cruel, but habitual, a reflex to see only what is immediate, what is apparent. The mud was heavy, uninviting, and so the villagers moved on, their lives filled with routines and distractions. They did not pause to wonder what might lie beneath, what potential waited in the quiet. In their haste, they missed the truth that the lotus was not the mud, just as the self is not the weight of its struggle. Depression, like the mud, can cover the mind, dulling its light, casting shadows that feel eternal. Yet the lotus, like the self, remains whole, its essence untouched by the layers that conceal it. The villagers' hearts softened as they sat by the pond, watching the faint glimmer beneath the surface, feeling a connection to their own hidden light. This discovery became a quiet rebellion against the village's oversight. The villagers saw the challenge, not just in the mud, but in the way it tricked the eye into believing there was nothing more. Depression often works this way, cloaking the self in shadows, whispering that the darkness is all there is. The villager felt this too, the weight of the mud in their own heart, the moments when sadness seemed to define them. Yet, as they gazed at the lotus, they began to question, what if the mud is not the truth? What if the lotus, hidden and pure, is the real story? This question stirred something deep within, a spark of curiosity, a refusal to let the surface define the whole. The lotus, though buried, was alive, its beauty untouched by the weight above it. To equate it with the mud was to misunderstand its nature, just as equating depression with identity obscures the radiant self beneath. The villagers' breath slowed, their mind clearing as they sat in the quiet, feeling the lotus's endurance mirror their own. The journey to uncover the lotus was not about erasing the mud, but about seeing beyond it. The villager understood that the mud was real, its weight undeniable. Yet it was not the lotus itself. Depression, too, is real, its pain heavy and consuming. But it is not the core of who we are. The challenge lies in this misjudgment, in the mind's tendency to merge the self with its temporary states, sitting by the pond, the villager began to see their struggles in the lotus's quiet endurance, a reminder that the self remains whole, even when hidden. This realization was the first step, a gentle awakening to the truth that the mud, no matter how thick, could not claim the lotus's essence. It was a call to patience, to trust, to hold space for the light within. Even when the world saw only shadows, the villager's heart grew lighter, not because the mud was gone, but because they saw it for what it was. A layer, not the truth. This understanding, soft and steady, opened a path to the lotus, to the self, radiant and whole beneath the weight of the world. Yet, this awakening was only the beginning. The path to clarity is winding, and the mind often clings to illusions. The Buddhist teachings offer a gentle truth, the concept of non-self, like a soft breeze clearing the heavy fog of the mind. Depression, like all emotions, is a passing experience, not the root of who we are. The villager by the pond began to sense this, their heart opening to the idea that the mud covering the lotus was not the lotus itself. So too, the weight of sadness, the grip of despair, is not the self. It is a layer, a temporary veil, real in its presence, but not eternal in its hold. The misconception arises when we fuse our identity with these feelings, believing they define us, that we are the sorrow, the doubt, the heaviness. This illusion, subtle yet powerful, keeps us from seeing the lotus within, the radiant self that endures beyond the fleeting storms of the mind. The villager, sitting quietly, felt this truth stir within them, a whisper that the mud was not their essence, that there was something more, something untouched. In the stillness of meditation, the Buddha taught that the self is not a fixed thing, not a solid core to be grasped. It is fluid, ever-changing, like the ripples on the pond's surface. Depression, though it feels all-consuming, is just one ripple, one moment in the vast flow of existence. The villagers saw how their mind had clung to the idea that sadness was their essence, that the mud was all there was. But the lotus, hidden beneath, whispered otherwise. It was untouched, its petals pure, its beauty whole despite the weight above. This insight, gentle and clear, began to loosen the grip of the illusion. The self, the true self, is not the mud, not the depression, but something deeper, something eternal, like the lotus breathing quietly beneath the earth. The villagers' breath slowed, their minds softening as they let go of the need to define themselves by their pain, embracing instead the quiet truth of non-self. This understanding is not a rejection of pain, but an embrace of perspective. The villager did not deny the mud's presence, its cold, heavy reality. They simply began to see it as separate, as something that could be observed without becoming their truth. In Buddhism, this is the practice of mindfulness, of watching thoughts and emotions without claiming them as the self. The lotus remains, always, beneath the mud, just as the self remains, untouched by the fleeting storms of the mind. This truth, soft as a whisper, invites us to pause, to breathe, to see the illusion for what it is, a passing shadow, not the light of who we are. The villager felt this as they sat by the pond, their heart growing lighter, not because the pain was gone, but because they saw it as a visitor, not a master. This gentle shift in perspective opened a space for peace for clarity, for the lotus to shine, even beneath the weight of the mud. But seeing the truth is only part of the journey. The villagers soon learned that effort, when misguided, can deepen the illusion. The villager, stirred by their discovery, wanted to share the lotus's beauty with the world. They tried to make it shine without disturbing the mud, scattering bright flowers over its surface, draping it with colorful cloth, hoping to mask the ugliness. But the mud remained, heavy and unchanged, the lotus still hidden beneath. The villagers passing by smiled at the decorations, but none saw the lotus. None understood its truth. The effort, though well-meaning, was fleeting, a distraction that left the mud untouched, the lotus unseen. So too, in our struggles with depression, we often reach for quick fixes, distractions, or denials, hoping to cover the pain without facing it. We fill our days with noise, with busyness, with fleeting pleasures, believing they will lift the weight. But the lotus, the true self, remains buried, its light obscured by these superficial efforts. These attempts, like the villagers' decorations, are born of a wish to feel whole again. We chase distractions, immerse ourselves in work, or seek temporary joys, hoping to outrun the heaviness within. Yet the mud, like depression, lingers beneath, its presence felt even in moments of fleeting relief. The villagers saw this as they stepped back, their heart heavy with the realization that the cloth and flowers had changed nothing. The mud was still there, and the lotus, though radiant, was still hidden. This truth was not a failure, but a lesson, a call to look deeper, to face the mud rather than cover it. Depression, when unaddressed, remains a quiet weight, its presence felt in the spaces between our distractions, a reminder that the self cannot shine through denial. The consequence of these failed attempts was a deeper understanding. The villagers sat by the pond, watching the cloth sink into the mud, the flowers wilting under its weight. They saw that masking the mud only prolonged the lotus's burial, just as avoiding pain delays the journey to the self. The lotus, like the heart, asks for patience, for courage, for a willingness to sit with the mud and see it for what it is, a layer, not the truth. This quiet realization brought the villager closer to the lotus, closer to the self, untouched and whole. They understood that the path to clarity was not in covering the pain, but in meeting it, in holding space for it without letting it define them. This gentle shift, born of failed attempts, opened a new way forward, a way of seeing the lotus and the self as radiant and whole, even beneath the weight of the mud. One quiet evening, as the villager sat by the pond, their heart heavy with the weight of their failed attempts, a wise elder approached, their steps soft, their eyes gentle. They knelt beside the villager, gazing at the muddy lotus with a knowing smile. Together, they began to wash the mud away, their hands moving slowly, patiently, letting the cool water reveal the lotus's radiant petals. With each gentle sweep, the sludge fell away, and the lotus emerged, its beauty untouched, its light shining softly under the fading sun. This was no mere flower, but a symbol of the true self, pure and whole, freed from the layers that once hid it. The villagers' breath caught, their heart lifting as they saw the lotus for what it truly was, radiant, untouched by the mud that had once defined it. Depression, like the mud, had cloaked their spirit, but it was not their essence. The elder's quiet presence taught them a lesson of seeing beyond the surface, of trusting in the light within. The awakening came softly, like a breeze stirring the pond's surface. The villager realized that the self was not the sadness, not the heaviness that had weighed them down. The lotus, now glowing in the evening light, was a mirror of their own heart, whole and unshaken despite the mud's grip. This realization was not a sudden burst, but a gentle unfolding, a quiet shift in perspective that brought clarity. The elder spoke no words, only guided the villagers' hands, showing them that the mud could be washed away with patience, with care. So too, depression could be seen as separate, a passing state that did not define the self. The villager felt this truth settle within, their heart lighter, their mind clearer, as they began to embrace their true nature, radiant and free. This transformation was not about erasing pain, but about holding it differently. The villager stood by the pond, watching the lotus sway gently, its petals catching the last rays of light. They saw themselves in its quiet strength, in its ability to remain whole beneath the mud. Embracing the true self meant letting go of the need to fight the mud, to resist the pain. It meant seeing it as a visitor, not a master, and trusting in the lotus within, untouched by the weight of the world. The elder's smile was a reminder, a silent encouragement to carry this clarity forward, to live from the place of the true self, radiant and whole. The villager felt a quiet joy, a sense of freedom, knowing they were not their depression, but something deeper, something eternal, like the lotus now shining in the stillness of the evening. Yet, this awakening opens a deeper truth. Freedom lies in letting go of what we are not. The Buddhist teaching of non-self is a gentle invitation to freedom, a call to release the labels that bind us. Depression, like all emotions, is not the self, but a fleeting experience, like clouds passing across a clear sky. The villager, standing by the radiant lotus, began to understand this truth, their hearts softening as they saw their sadness as separate, not defining. This is the essence of non-identification, the practice of seeing emotions as transient, not as the core of who we are. Impermanence is the key, the quiet reminder that all things pass. Joy, sorrow, despair, hope. The mud that once hid the lotus was real, but it was not eternal. Just as depression, though heavy, is not a permanent state, this truth, soft and steady, frees us from the weight of emotional labels, allowing us to rest in the clarity of the true self. This freedom comes not from fighting emotions, but from observing them with compassion. The villager learned to look at their sadness without clinging, without letting it claim their identity. In Buddhism, compassion is the heart's response to suffering, both our own and others. It is the gentle act of accepting the self beyond the mud, beyond the labels of pain or failure. The lotus, radiant and whole, was a reminder of this, a symbol of the self that remains untouched. Even when the mind is clouded, the villager felt this compassion grow within, not just for themselves, but for all who struggled under the weight of their own mud. To see emotions as impermanent is to open the heart, to hold space for pain without letting it define us, to trust in the light that endures beneath. This practice of non-identification is a path to peace, a way of living lightly in a world of heavy burdens. The villager, now seeing the lotus clearly, felt a quiet strength, a sense of freedom born of letting go. They understood that the self was not the mud, not the sadness, but something vast, something eternal. This truth, rooted in impermanence and compassion, invited them to live with clarity, to embrace each moment without being bound by it. The lotus, shining softly by the pond, was a mirror of this freedom, a reminder that the true self is always there, radiant and whole, waiting to be seen through the lens of compassion and understanding. But freedom is a practice, not a destination. The path lies in observing without clinging. Sit quietly, wherever you are, and let your breath guide you to stillness. Close your eyes. Feel the air move softly through you, and picture a pond, its surface heavy with mud. This mud is your emotions, your sadness, your depression, real and heavy, but not you. See it as a layer, not your essence. Now, imagine a lotus beneath, its petals radiant, untouched by the weight above. This is your true self, whole and unshaken. As you breathe, observe the mud, the emotions that arise, without clinging, without pushing them away. Let them be, like clouds passing through a vast sky. Feel the lotus within, steady and pure, untouched by the mud's weight. This is the practice: to watch, to see, to let go. The challenge is in the resistance, the mind's habit of holding tight to pain, of believing it defines you. As you sit, you may feel the pull to fight the mud, to deny it or drown in it. This is natural, but gently return to the breath, to the image of the lotus. Each time you notice an emotion, name it softly: sadness, fear, doubt, and let it pass. Do not cling. Do not resist. The mud is real, but it is not you. The lotus, your true self, remains suraitsam awatnastes, radiant beneath the surface. With each breath, wash the mud away, not with force, but with patience, with kindness. This practice is not about erasing pain, but about seeing it clearly, about trusting in the light within, even when the mind resists. This meditation is a quiet rebellion against the weight of suffering. As you sit, you may feel moments of clarity, moments when the lotus shines through. Hold these gently, knowing they too will pass, just as the mud does. The practice is to return again and again to the breath, to the lotus, to the truth of who you are. Over time, the mud becomes lighter, the lotus clearer, not because the pain is gone, but because you see it for what it is, a passing layer, not your essence. This is the path of observing without clinging, a path to peace, to freedom, to the radiant self that waits beneath the weight of the world. And so, the journey leads to reflection. The lotus invites us to see our true nature and share its light. The story of the lotus is a mirror of your own heart, a reminder that your essence is untouched by the mud of depression. The villager's journey, from seeing the mud to uncovering the radiant lotus, reflects the path of awakening, of realizing that you are not your pain, not your struggles. The true self, like the lotus, is whole, radiant, eternal, even when hidden beneath the weight of sorrow. This truth, rooted in the Buddhist teaching of non-self, invites you to pause, to breathe, to see your emotions as passing waves, not the ocean of who you are. Reflect on this. Sit quietly with the image of the lotus and ask, what is the mud in my life? What is the light beneath it? This reflection is not a task, but a gentle invitation to see yourself clearly, to trust in the radiance within, untouched by the shadows of the mind. This journey is yours to walk, and it begins with practice. Observe your emotions as you would the mud, with kindness, without clinging. Each moment of awareness, each breath, is a step toward the lotus, toward the true self. Share this journey not just for yourself, but for others who walk the same path. Speak of the lotus, of the light you find beneath the mud, and let your story ripple outward, touching those who feel buried in their own struggles. Your voice, your presence, can be a gentle guide, a reminder that the self is not the pain, but the light that endures. If this story brought peace, subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more healing insights and join a community seeking the lotus within. The call is simple. Pause, breathe, reflect, see the mud, see the lotus, and trust in the self that shines beneath. Share your insights, your moments of clarity with those around you. On this channel, in your life, the lotus is not just a story, but a truth, a reminder that you are whole, radiant, free. Let this truth guide you. Let it soften your heart. Let it light your path. The journey to the lotus is ongoing, but each step, each breath, brings you closer to the self, untouched by the weight of the world, radiant in its quiet, eternal light. Chapter 3. We are all connected. In the gentle teachings of Zen, we come to see that loneliness, though deeply felt, is a fleeting illusion when viewed through the lens of interdependence. Loneliness often arises when we feel cut off, as if our heart drifts alone in a vast sea, separated from the warmth of others. Yet, Buddhism whispers a profound truth, that all beings, all moments, all breaths are woven into a vast web of existence, interconnected and inseparable. The tree that shades us, the breeze that touches our skin, the laughter of a stranger, all are threads in the same tapestry, each reliant on the other to exist. This teaching of interdependence invites us to soften our gaze, to see that our pain, our joy, our very being is shared with all life. When we pause to notice the world around us, the flower blooming, the friend's quiet smile, we realize we are never truly alone. Our struggles do not isolate us. They bind us to others who feel, who breathe, who live within the same delicate web. By awakening to this connection, loneliness begins to fade, replaced by a quiet sense of belonging to something greater. In this awareness, we find peace, knowing that our heart beats in harmony with the universe, a single note in a boundless song of existence. And so, we turn to a story where one villager discovers the light of connection beneath a starlit sky. In a quiet village cradled by mountains, there lived a villager who felt a heavy solitude, as if their struggles set them apart from the warmth of the community. Each day, they worked in the fields, their hands toiling under the sun, yet their heart carried a silent ache, believing no one could understand their burdens. They saw others laugh, share stories, and gather by the fire, and felt a wall between themselves and the world. Convinced their pain was theirs alone, this sense of disconnection grew, a shadow that deepened their emptiness, leaving them weary not from work, but from the weight of feeling unseen. One night, unable to sleep, they wandered to a hill overlooking the village, where stars glittered like countless eyes watching over the earth. As they gazed, they saw lantern lights flicker in the homes below, each one a life, a story, a heart carrying its own quiet struggles. In that moment, the villager realized their pain was not a barrier, but a bridge for every soul in the village, under the same stars, bore their own burdens, yet still shared in the rhythm of life. This truth softened their heart, dissolving the illusion of isolation. They returned to the village, no longer alone, but woven into the fabric of the community, their struggles a thread in the shared tapestry of existence. Let us now deepen this understanding, exploring how interdependence nurtures a sense of belonging. In the gentle wisdom of Zen, recognizing interdependence weaves us into the fabric of life, dissolving the illusion of isolation and fostering a profound sense of belonging. Every action, every breath, every kind word we offer ties us to others, like ripples spreading across a still pond, touching shores we may never see. The meal we share, the smile we give, the hand we extend, all are threads in the vast web of existence, connecting us to friends, strangers, and even the earth beneath our feet. This awareness soothes the ache of loneliness, for when we see ourselves as part of a larger whole, we no longer feel adrift. Our joys and sorrows are not ours alone. They are shared in the quiet dance of life, where every being plays a role. Healing arises from this understanding. As we realize our presence matters, our kindness reverberates. Our struggles are echoed in the hearts of others. To belong is to rest in the truth that we are never separate, that our lives are interwoven with countless others in a tapestry of mutual care. By embracing this interdependence, we find comfort, a gentle warmth that eases the heart's solitude. We are not solitary travelers, but companions in a shared journey, each step a reminder that we are held, supported, and connected in the boundless embrace of life's interconnected web. With this truth in our hearts, let us pause to reflect on the small, beautiful ways we connect with the world. Take a moment to sit quietly with a journal or a simple piece of paper and let your heart guide your thoughts. Reflect on a kind act you have done or received, perhaps a time you offered a listening ear, or when someone's small gesture warmed your spirit. Write about this moment, letting the memory unfold, noticing the feelings it stirs within you. Perhaps it was a stranger's smile, a friend's encouragement, or the way you helped another without expecting return. As you write, see how this act, however small, ripples outward, touching lives beyond your own. This practice invites you to recognize your place in the web of life, to see that your presence, your kindness, your very existence is a thread in the tapestry of connection. If discomfort arises, perhaps a doubt that your actions matter, persist gently, reminding yourself that every gesture counts. This reflection is not about grand deeds, but about the quiet ways we belong to one another. As you close your journal, carry this awareness with you, knowing that each step you take, each moment of connection, strengthens the bonds that hold us all. By seeing your role in this shared web, you awaken to the truth that you are never alone, your heart forever entwined with the hearts of others in the gentle embrace of life. Chapter 4: Mindfulness, Finding Peace in the Present. The mind is a restless traveler, often lost in the shadows of past regrets or the fog of future fears. It drifts, carrying us away from the only place where peace can be found, the present moment. Mindfulness is a gentle anchor, a practice that invites us to return to now, to the quiet truth of this breath, this heartbeat. When emotional storms rage, when depression clouds the heart, mindfulness offers a soft refuge, a way to calm the racing thoughts that pull us from the present. It is not about erasing pain, but about meeting it with stillness, with awareness. By resting in the now, we find a space where the mind's turbulence softens, where peace begins to bloom, like a lotus breaking through the mud. This practice, simple yet profound, teaches us that the present is enough, that within it lies the clarity to see beyond our struggles, to touch the quiet light of being. Yet, to understand mindfulness, we turn to a story. A monk lost in the currents of his own mind. In a tranquil forest, a monk sat beneath an ancient tree, his heart heavy with worry. His mind wandered endlessly, tangled in memories of past mistakes and fears of what lay ahead. Each thought pulled him further from the present, from the soft rustle of leaves, the warmth of the earth beneath him. He longed for peace, but his restlessness grew, a storm of doubts and regrets clouding his spirit. The more he dwelled on what was or what might be, the deeper his anxiety sank, ungrounding him from the moment. The monk's struggle was not the forest, nor the tree, but his own mind, unmoored, drifting through time. His heart ached for stillness, yet he could not find it. Lost in the endless waves of thought, this restlessness, like the weight of depression, kept him from the present, from the quiet truth that peace waits only in the now, in the gentle rhythm of breath, in the simple act of being. And so, the monk's struggle leads us deeper, to the power of resting fully in the now. Mindfulness is a gentle return to the present, the only place where peace truly exists. The mind, caught in loops of regret or anticipation, creates turbulence, feeding depression and loneliness. But in the now, there is no past to mourn, no future to fear, only this moment, whole and complete. By anchoring in the present, we loosen the grip of suffering, letting thoughts pass like clouds without clinging to them. This practice does not erase pain, but softens its hold, offering clarity amidst the storm. The monk, lost in worry, found peace when he returned to the sensation of his breath, the feel of the ground beneath him. This is the power of now, a quiet strength that calms the heart's restlessness, that heals by bringing us home to the present. In this moment, we are enough. Our struggles just ripples, not the ocean of who we are. This power is not distant. A simple practice can guide us to the stillness of the present. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Notice your breath, the way it moves, soft and steady. Inhale for 4 counts, feeling the air fill your chest, your heart. Exhale for 6, letting tension slip away, like mud washed from a lotus. If thoughts arise, Let them pass, returning gently to the breath. This is your anchor, your path to the present. Notice the coolness of the inhale, the warmth of the exhale, the rhythm that holds you. The storm of emotions may swirl, but you are not the storm. You are the breath, the stillness beneath. Practice this daily, even for a few minutes, and feel the mind settle, the heart soften. The challenge is to persist, to return to the breath when the mind wanders. This simple act, this mindful breathing, brings peace, a quiet refuge amidst the chaos, a way to rest in the now, whole and untouched. Chapter 5. Loving Kindness. Healing through compassion. In the tender embrace of Zen, we discover the practice of metta, loving kindness meditation, a gentle path to dissolve the walls of isolation and awaken compassion. Loneliness often blooms from a closed heart when we feel distant from ourselves and others, trapped in a cycle of separation. Metta invites us to open this heart, to offer love first to ourselves, then to those around us, weaving a thread of connection through the simple act of wishing well. This practice begins with a soft whisper of kindness, directed inward, acknowledging our own worthiness of love. From this gentle seed, we extend our care outward to friends, strangers, even those we find difficult, seeing them as beings who, like us, seek happiness and peace. In this act of sending love, we break the illusion of isolation, realizing that compassion is a bridge that unites us all. Metta does not demand perfection. It asks only for presence, for a willingness to hold ourselves and others with tenderness. As we cultivate this loving kindness, the heart softens, loneliness fades, and we find ourselves woven into the fabric of life, connected by the shared wish for joy. Through metta, we awaken to the truth that love, given freely, returns to us, a gentle stream that nourishes the heart and heals the ache of separation. And so, we turn to a story where a baker learns to open a heart long closed to love. In a small village where the scent of fresh bread filled the air, there lived a baker whose hands crafted loaves with care, yet whose heart was heavy with self-criticism. Each morning, she kneaded dough with precision, her bakery a haven for the villagers. But within, she felt unworthy of love, convinced her flaws made her unlovable. She smiled at customers, yet their warmth seemed distant, as if a glass wall stood between her and the world. Her inner voice whispered harsh judgments, reminding her of every mistake, every moment she fell short. This self-criticism fueled her isolation, making her feel disconnected, not only from others, but from herself. She worked tirelessly, hoping her bread would earn her a place in the village's heart. Yet the more she gave, the emptier she felt. Her loneliness, a quiet ache that lingered in the silence of her nights. The villagers savored her bread, unaware of the pain she carried, for she hid it well behind her flour-dusted apron. Her struggle was not in her skill, but in her belief that she was unworthy, a belief that kept her heart closed, her spirit adrift. The baker's story reminds us that when we turn away from self-love, we deepen our isolation. Yet in opening to compassion, we begin to mend, finding connection within and beyond ourselves. Let us now deepen this practice. exploring how compassion becomes a bridge to connection. In the gentle practice of Zen, metta meditation opens the heart like a flower to the morning sun, fostering compassion that dissolves the walls of loneliness. Compassion is not merely a feeling. It is a bridge, a warm current that flows from self to others, binding us in shared humanity. When we offer love to ourselves, accepting our imperfections with kindness, we begin to heal the wounds that keep us isolated. Metta teaches us to see ourselves as worthy, to cradle our pain with the same tenderness we would offer a dear friend. From this foundation, we extend our love outward, wishing happiness and peace to those we cherish, to strangers, to all beings, recognizing that their joys and struggles mirror our own. This practice of loving kindness builds emotional warmth, a soft glow that soothes the ache of separation. As we repeat these wishes, we feel the heart expand, no longer confined by the illusion of aloneness. Compassion becomes a quiet force, connecting us to the world, reminding us that we are part of a greater whole. Each kind thought, each gentle wish weaves us closer to others, creating a tapestry of care that holds us all. Through metta, loneliness transforms into connection, and the heart, once closed, becomes a sanctuary of love, radiating warmth that heals both ourselves and the world around us. With this understanding, let us practice metta, sending love to ourselves and all beings. Find a quiet space where you can rest in stillness and sit comfortably, letting your body soften. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs. Then exhale gently, releasing tension. Bring your attention to your heart, imagining a warm light glowing there. Begin by directing love to yourself, silently repeating, "May I be happy? May I be at peace?" Let these words settle, like a gentle rain nourishing your spirit. If doubt or discomfort arises, breathe through it, returning to the words with kindness. Now, picture a loved one, someone who brings you joy, and offer them the same wish. May you be happy. May you be at peace. Feel the warmth of this intention, like a gift freely given. Next, extend this wish to a neutral person, perhaps a neighbor or a stranger, repeating, "May you be happy. May you be at peace." Finally, send this love to all beings, everywhere, imagining your heart's light spreading outward. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Rest in this moment, feeling the connection that flows from your open heart. As you close this practice, carry this loving kindness with you, knowing that each wish you offer strengthens the bonds of compassion. Open your eyes and let this warmth guide your steps, a reminder that love, given freely, unites us all. Chapter 6, A Safe Space for the Soul. The story of the silent well. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, a weary traveler wandered, his heart heavy with the weight of unspoken sorrows. His steps were slow, his eyes tracing the earth as if searching for something lost. One misty morning, he stumbled upon an ancient well, its stone edges barely visible beneath a tangle of wild vines. The well stood forgotten, its mouth choked with leaves and thorns, a relic of time swallowed by neglect. The villagers passed it daily, their gazes skimming over it, assuming its depths held nothing but dust. To them, it was a dry husk, useless and abandoned. Yet, the traveler paused, drawn to its silence, sensing a mystery beneath the overgrowth. The well, he felt, was more than it seemed, a mirror of his own soul, buried under layers of pain and loneliness. The vines were thick, their roots deep, much like the grief that clung to his heart, unyielding and heavy. He stood there, the morning dew settling on his shoulders, wondering if the well could ever flow again. Could it hold clear water, or was it doomed to remain a shadow of its past? The traveler's heart stirred, a quiet question forming. What lies beneath this chaos? The well's neglect was no accident. It reflected the village's own turning away from what seemed broken. No one had tried to clear the vines. No one had dared to peer into its depths. They had their reasons. The well was too old, too far gone, its waters long dried up. This was the story they told themselves, a story born of habit and fear. The traveler saw himself in that tale. His soul, too, had been left untended, shrouded in the vines of doubt and sorrow. Loneliness had crept in like the weeds, wrapping around his thoughts, whispering that peace was out of reach. Grief, like the thorns, pricked at every attempt to move forward, leaving him raw and hesitant. The well was not just a well. It was a symbol of all that had been forgotten within him, all that had been buried under the weight of life's trials. To face it would mean facing himself, a daunting task. Yet, as the sun broke through the mist, casting soft light on the tangled vines, he felt a spark of hope. Perhaps, he thought, there is a way to clear the overgrowth, to find what lies beneath. This moment of pause was the first step, a gentle awakening to the possibility of healing. The traveler did not yet know how to begin, but he knew he could not walk away. The well called to him, its silence louder than the village's chatter. It was a challenge, not to conquer, but to understand, to stand before. It was to stand before his own heart, to see the neglect and choose to act. The journey to uncover the well's truth was his own journey inward, a path through the thorns of his pain. He knelt by the well, his fingers brushing the rough vines, feeling their resistance. The work would not be easy. The roots were deep, the overgrowth stubborn. Yet, in that quiet moment, he made a choice to stay, to try, to believe that beneath the chaos, there was still something pure, something whole. The well, like his soul, was waiting to be rediscovered. Its waters perhaps not gone, but simply hidden, ready to flow once more. And so, the traveler began to see the well, not just as a forgotten relic, but as a teacher, guiding him toward a deeper truth. Meditation, he realized, was like approaching this well, a way to sit with the soul's quiet and clear its tangled vines. In the stillness of meditation, the heart finds a safe space, a sanctuary where loneliness and depression lose their grip. The mind, often clouded by turmoil, begins to settle, like dust in a still pond. Each breath becomes a gentle pull, loosening the thorns of grief, softening the edges of pain. The Buddhist path teaches this, that within us lies a clear well, untouched by the chaos above. Meditation does not erase sorrow. It does not banish loneliness, but it offers a space to hold them gently, to see them without fear. In this inner refuge, The soul can rest, can breathe, can begin to heal. The practice is simple, yet profound. Sitting in silence, observing the breath, letting thoughts arise and pass like clouds. There is no need to fight the vines, no need to tear at them in haste. Meditation invites patience, a slow unraveling of the heart's burdens. Loneliness, that heavy shadow, becomes less a weight and more a visitor, one that can be met with kindness. Depression, with its gray veil, begins to lift as the mind finds clarity in the present moment. The well of the soul, once thought dry, reveals its depth, its waters clear and still. This is the gift of meditation, a return to what is true, a rediscovery of peace that was never truly lost. The traveler, sitting by the well, began to understand this, his breath slowing, his heart opening to the possibility of calm in this sanctuary of the mind. There is no judgment, no rush to fix what feels broken. The Buddhist insight is clear. The mind is a vast space, capable of holding both pain and peace. Meditation carves out this space, a place where the soul can sit with itself, unburdened by the world's noise. The traveler felt this as he closed his eyes, the well's silence merging with his own. He was not yet free of his sorrows, but he was no longer lost in them. The practice was his guide, showing him that beneath the vines, beneath the turmoil, there was still a wellspring of peace, waiting to be uncovered. Yet, the path to peace is not without missteps, and the traveler soon learned this truth. Eager to drink from the well, he reached for its bucket, ignoring the vines that choked its mouth. He pulled at the rope, hoping for clear water. But what came was murky, clouded with dirt and leaves. His heart sank, the promise of relief slipping away. He had sought a quick fix, a way to ease his pain without facing the deeper work of clearing the overgrowth. Like many, he wanted peace without the labor, healing without the patience. The murky water was a mirror, reflecting his own hurried attempts to escape his loneliness and grief. The vines remained, their roots untouched, and the well could offer nothing until they were cleared. This failure was a quiet lesson. The traveler took to heart. He had acted from impatience, seeking to bypass the soul's deeper wounds. The Buddhist path warns of this, that true peace cannot be forced, cannot be grasped through shallow efforts. The traveler sat by the well, his hands stained with earth, and saw his mistake. He had wanted the water without understanding the well, had wanted healing without tending to his heart. The murky water was not a sign of failure, but a reminder. The soul's peace requires care, slow and steady clearing of what obscures it. The traveler's journey was far from over, but this moment marked a shift. He saw now that the vines, like his pain, could not be ignored. To find the clear water, he would need to work with patience, to sit with the well as he sat with his own heart. Meditation, he realized, was not a quick solution, but a practice of presence, a way to gently untangle the roots of his suffering. The well, silent and steadfast, waited for him to return, to try again with a softer heart, ready to uncover its hidden depths. As the traveler sat in quiet contemplation, a wise villager approached, her steps soft and deliberate, her eyes carrying the calm of one who had walked this path before. She saw the traveler's struggle, his hands still stained from his failed attempts. And she smiled, a gentle knowing in her gaze. Together, they began to clear the vines, not with force, but with care, pulling each tendril away with patience. As the overgrowth fell away, sunlight touched the well's stone, revealing its ancient beauty. The traveler's heart lifted, a spark of awakening igniting within him. For the first time, he saw the well not as a burden, but as a source of clarity, a reflection of the peace he sought. With each vine removed, the well's mouth opened wider, and when they lowered the bucket, the water that rose was clear, shimmering with the light of a quiet truth. This, the villager whispered, is what meditation offers, a way to clear the soul's overgrowth and find the stillness beneath. The traveler felt a shift, a transformation beginning within. The act of clearing the vines was like sitting in meditation, each breath a gentle tug at the roots of his pain. He began to understand that peace was not something to chase, but something to uncover, already present within him. The well, once hidden, now stood open, its waters a mirror of his own soul, calm and untroubled. This awakening was not loud or sudden. It was a soft unfolding, a recognition that the path to clarity lay in patience and presence. The villager's guidance had shown him this. That meditation was a practice of tending to the heart, of creating space for peace to emerge. The well, now free of vines, was a sanctuary, a place where the soul could rest, whole and undisturbed. This transformation was a quiet miracle, born of small, steady steps. The traveler no longer saw the well as a mystery to solve, but as a teacher, guiding him toward his own inner clarity. Meditation, he realized, was the act of clearing, of sitting with the soul until its waters ran clear. The villager nodded, her work done, and left him by the well, its surface reflecting the sky above. The traveler sat, his breath steady, his heart open, knowing he had found a path to peace, not by escaping his pain, but by tending to it with care. In the days that followed, the traveler returned to the well, not to draw water, but to sit in its presence, to learn from its stillness. Meditation, he now understood, was the art of building an inner sanctuary, a place where the soul could find refuge. The Buddhist teachings spoke of this, a space within the mind where suffering could soften, where peace could take root. Each time he sat, closing his eyes and following his breath, he felt the vines of his loneliness loosen, the thorns of his grief grow less sharp. The sanctuary was not a place to hide from pain, but a space to hold it gently, to let it rest without consuming him. Like the well, cleared of its overgrowth, his mind began to reflect a quiet calm, a peace that grew with each moment of presence. This inner sanctuary was built through practice, through returning to the breath again and again. The traveler learned to sit with his sorrows, to let them pass like ripples on the well's surface. Meditation offered a refuge, not by erasing suffering, but by creating space for it to exist alongside peace. The Buddhist path taught him this, that the mind is vast, capable of holding both light and shadow. With each session, he felt the sanctuary grow stronger, a place where he could return, no matter how heavy the world felt. The well's clear water was a reminder. Peace was always there, waiting beneath the chaos, ready to be uncovered through patient practice. Healing came slowly, like water rising in the well. The traveler's heart, once clouded by loneliness, began to soften, his depression lifting like mist in the morning sun. Meditation was not a cure, but a path, a way to tend to the soul with kindness. Each breath was a step toward peace. Each moment of stillness, a brick in the sanctuary he was building within. The well stood as a symbol of this truth, its calm waters a mirror of the clarity he was finding. The traveler sat, his heart steady, knowing that this practice, this gentle tending, was the key to a peace that endured. To those who hear this story, the well offers a practice, a way to find your own sanctuary within. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine a well, its stone warm under the sun, its waters clear and still. See the vines that cover it, the tangles of your own worries and pain. With each breath, gently pull a vine away, not with force, but with care. Picture the well's surface, reflecting a calm sky, its depths holding a peace that is yours. Let your breath be slow, steady, like the rhythm of water rising. If thoughts arise, let them pass, ripples that fade into stillness. This is your sanctuary, a space within your soul where pain softens, where clarity emerges. The challenge is to persist, to return to this practice even when the mind wanders or the vines seem thick. Distractions will come, thoughts of worry or doubt, but they are only clouds passing over the well's surface. Return to your breath, to the image of the well, and let the stillness grow. This visualization is a meditation, a way to carve out a space of peace within you. The well is not outside, it is within, waiting for you to clear its vines and drink from its calm. With each moment you spend here, the sanctuary strengthens, a refuge you can carry through life's storms. This practice is yours, a gift from the Buddhist path, a way to find clarity amid chaos. Sit with your well each day, even for a few moments, and watch how the waters clear. The traveler found his peace this way, and so can you. Let the well be your guide. Its stillness, a reminder that peace is never far, only hidden, waiting for your gentle touch to set it free. The story of the well is a mirror for us all, a reminder that within each soul lies a sanctuary waiting to be uncovered. The traveler's journey shows us this, that meditation is not a cure, but a path, a way to clear the vines of pain and find the clear water beneath. Your heart, like the well, holds a peace that is yours, hidden perhaps, but never lost. The Buddhist teachings guide us here, showing that through patient practice, we can build a refuge within, a place where loneliness softens, where grief finds rest. The well stands as a symbol, its waters a reflection of the calm we can cultivate through meditation. Take this practice into your life. Sit with your own well. Imagine its stillness and let it guide you to peace. Try the visualization meditation shared here. Spend a few moments each day clearing the vines of your heart. Notice how the waters of your soul begin to clear, how peace emerges with each breath. Share your journey. Reflect on how this practice touches you, how it softens the edges of your pain. Your story, like the traveler's, is part of the path, a step toward healing. If this story brought calm, subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more healing insights. Let this channel be a companion on your journey, offering stories and practices to guide you to your inner sanctuary. The well is within you, its waters waiting to flow. Begin today. Take a breath and step toward the peace that is yours. Chapter 7: Small Habits That Nurture Joy. The story of the broken clock. In a quiet village nestled among whispering pines and rolling meadows, there lived a clockmaker whose shop was the heart of the community. At the center of the village square stood a tall clock, its face gleaming under the sun, its hands meant to guide the rhythm of daily life. Yet, the clock was broken, its ticking erratic, sometimes racing, sometimes stalling, throwing the village into subtle disarray. The villagers, accustomed to its faults, relied on it still, adjusting their days to its unpredictable rhythm without question. They hurried when it sped, paused when it slowed, never noticing how it shaped their lives with chaos. The clockmaker, too, lived by its broken cadence, his days filled with joyless tasks, his heart heavy with a despair he could not name. The clock's erratic ticking mirrored his own unmindful habits, a life lived without intention, where moments slipped away in distraction and routine. Each tick, uneven and unsteady, was a reflection of his inner turmoil, a life unmoored from purpose, sinking deeper into the shadows of discontent. The village, like the clockmaker's mind, carried on unaware. The clock's faults went unnoticed, its surface polished and proud, masking the chaos within. Villagers gathered in the square, planning their days by its unreliable hands, their lives subtly shaped by its flaws. They did not pause to question the clock's rhythm, just as the clockmaker did not question his own habits. The careless words spoken in haste, the tasks done without thought, the moments lost to worry or apathy. This was the village's rhythm, a life lived on the surface, where the broken clock's ticking went unchallenged, its faults woven into the fabric of their days. The clockmaker, too, was caught in this cycle, his despair growing as he moved through life without awareness, each day blending into the next, heavy with the weight of unexamined routines. The challenge lay in this oversight, in the way the broken clock mirrored a life lacking mindful intention. The clockmaker felt the weight of his days, the joylessness that crept into his heart, yet he could not see its source. The clock's erratic ticking was more than a mechanical fault. It was a symbol of his own unmindful living, where careless actions and thoughtless routines deepened his despair. He sat in his shop, surrounded by tools and gears, yet unable to fix the clock, just as he struggled to mend the patterns of his life. The village's reliance on the broken clock reflected his own reliance on habits that no longer served him, habits that pulled him further from joy. Each uneven tick was a reminder, a call to pause, to look within, to see the chaos not as fate, but as a signal to live differently. The clockmaker's journey began one quiet evening. As he sat by the clock, listening to its faltering rhythm, he noticed, for the first time, how its erratic ticks mirrored the restlessness in his heart, the way his days felt scattered, ungrounded. He saw the village moving to the same broken rhythm, their lives shaped by a fault they did not question. This realization, soft but piercing, stirred something within him. What if the clock could be fixed, not by force, but by intention? What if his life, too, could find a steadier rhythm through mindful care, The broken clock was not just a machine. It was a mirror, reflecting a life in need of repair. A life yearning for joy through small, intentional habits. The clockmaker's heart softened. His breath steadied as he began to see the challenge, not in the clock alone, but in the way he lived, in the need to bring mindfulness to each moment, to nurture joy where despair had taken root. Yet, this realization opens a deeper truth. Living with intention is the path to joy. The Buddhist path of right living is a gentle guide, a call to bring mindfulness to every word, action, and routine. Unmindful habits, like the clockmaker's careless routines, fuel emotional instability, letting despair take root in the cracks of a scattered life. Words spoken without thought, actions done in haste, routines followed without awareness. These are the gears of a broken clock, ticking erratically, pulling us from joy. Right living, as taught in the Noble Eightfold Path, invites us to move with intention, to speak with kindness, to act with care, to build habits that nurture the heart. This is not about perfection, but about presence, about choosing each moment with clarity, aligning it with the truth of who we are. This intentional living fosters joy, a quiet stability that counters the weight of despair. The clockmaker, lost in unmindful habits, felt his life spiral into chaos, each day heavier than the last. Yet, the Buddhist insight teaches that joy is not found in grand gestures, but in small, mindful acts, a kind word, a purposeful pause, a routine rooted in care. These acts, like steady ticks of a repaired clock, create a rhythm of peace, grounding the heart in the present. By living with intention, we loosen the grip of emotional turbulence, finding clarity amidst the storm. The clockmaker began to see this, his heart lifting as he imagined a life where each moment was chosen, not drifted through, where joy could bloom through the simple act of being present. This practice of right living is a daily commitment, a gentle discipline that transforms the heart. It asks us to pause before speaking, to act with compassion, to build routines that honor the self and others. The clockmaker's broken clock was a reminder, each erratic tick, a call to return to intention, to live in a way that nurtures joy. This path, soft and steady, leads to a life of balance, where despair fades in the light of mindful presence, where the heart finds stability in the rhythm of intentional living. But intention requires effort. The clockmaker's first attempts to mend his ways reveal the challenge. The clockmaker, stirred by his realization, set out to fix the broken clock. He polished its brass face, painted its hands with bright colors, adorned its frame with intricate designs. The villagers admired the clock's new shine, yet its ticking remained erratic, its rhythm unchanged. The surface gleamed, but the inner gears, neglected and misaligned, continued their chaotic dance. These superficial fixes, like the clockmaker's unmindful habits, did nothing to address the root of the problem. He had hoped to mask the clock's faults, just as he tried to mask his despair with distractions, with busyness, with fleeting pleasures that faded as quickly as they came. The clock's persistent irregularity mirrored his own life, where unexamined routines kept joy at bay, leaving despair to linger in the shadows. These attempts, though well-meaning, were like polishing a broken machine. They changed nothing beneath the surface. The clockmaker saw the villagers still moving to the clock's faulty rhythm, their lives disrupted by its chaos, just as his own heart remained heavy despite his efforts. Relying on external fixes, like seeking joy in fleeting distractions or superficial changes, left the inner habits untouched. The gears of his life still misaligned. The consequence was clear. The clock's erratic ticking persisted, and so did his despair, a quiet weight that grew heavier with each unmindful day. The clockmaker sat in his shop, his tools idle, realizing that true repair required more than surface efforts. It demanded a deeper shift, a return to mindful intention. This realization was not failure, but a step toward clarity. The clockmaker saw that polishing the clock, like chasing distractions, only prolonged the chaos. True change meant looking within, addressing the gears, the habits that kept the clock and his life out of rhythm. Despair lingered because his routines remained unchanged, his actions unmindful, his days drifting without purpose. The clock, still broken, was a gentle teacher, showing him that joy could not be forced through external fixes, but nurtured through intentional habits, through small, mindful acts that align the heart with the present. This quiet lesson, born of failed attempts, opened a path to true repair, to a life where joy could take root in the steady rhythm of right living. One serene morning, as the clockmaker sat in his shop, his heart heavy with the weight of the still broken clock, a wise apprentice entered, their presence calm, their eyes bright with quiet understanding. They knelt beside the clock, studying its erratic ticking with patience, then guided the clockmaker's hands to open its casing. Together, they relined the gears, each movement deliberate, each adjustment made with care. Slowly, the clock's rhythm steadied, its ticks finding a gentle, even cadence that filled the shop with a newfound harmony. The village square, once swayed by chaos, began to move in sync with this restored rhythm, a reflection of balance reborn. The clock, now whole, was a symbol of the clockmaker's awakening, a realization that his life, like the clock, could be mended through mindful intention. The apprentice's quiet guidance showed him that joy was not found in fleeting fixes, but in the steady work of aligning habits with purpose, of living each moment with care. This awakening was soft, a gentle shift in the clockmaker's heart. He saw that the broken clock, like his despair, stemmed from a lack of mindful intention, from habits that drifted without purpose. The apprentice's presence was a reminder, a call to recognize the need for intentional living, to see each action as a chance to nurture joy. The clockmaker felt his spirit lift as the clock's ticking steadied, mirroring the possibility of balance in his own life. Transformation came not in grand gestures, but in small, mindful habits, a kind word chosen over haste, a moment savored instead of rushed. The clock, now ticking steadily, was a testament to this truth, its rhythm a mirror of a life realigned, where joy blossomed through intentional acts, where despair softened in the light of mindful presence. The clockmaker stood in the square, watching the villagers move with ease, their days now guided by the clock's steady rhythm. He felt a quiet joy, a sense of balance born from the small, deliberate acts that had restored the clock. The apprentice's wisdom had shown him that transformation was possible, that mindful habits could mend not just a machine, but a heart. Each tick of the clock was a reminder a call to live with intention, to choose actions that nurture joy over despair. The clockmaker's life, like the clock, was finding its rhythm, a harmony born of small, mindful steps, a testament to the power of intentional living to restore balance, to bring light to a heart once shadowed by unmindful habits. Yet, this restoration reveals a deeper truth. Joy grows from the seeds of mindful habits. The Buddhist path of right living teaches that joy is cultivated through small, intentional habits, each one a mindful choice that fosters emotional stability. Unmindful actions, like careless words or rushed routines, scatter the heart, feeding despair. But when we pause to speak with kindness, to savor a moment, to act with care, we plant seeds of joy that take root in the heart. Intention is the key, the quiet discipline of choosing actions that align with our deepest values, that honor the present moment, a single kind word, a moment of gratitude for a meal, a pause to breathe before reacting. These small acts weave a tapestry of stability, softening the weight of emotional turbulence. This practice of mindful habits is a gentle healing, a way to nurture a joyful heart. The clockmaker learned this as he realigned his life, choosing to speak with care, to move through his days with purpose. Each intentional act, no matter how small, was a step toward joy, a counter to the despair that once defined him. The Buddhist insight reminds us that joy is not a distant goal, but a present possibility, found in the way we live each moment, by savoring the taste of morning tea, by listening fully to a friend, by pausing to notice the warmth of the sun. We cultivate a heart that is steady, that finds peace amidst life's storms. These habits, simple yet profound, transform the heart, turning despair into moments of quiet joy, grounding us in the beauty of the present. This path of right living is a daily practice, a commitment to mindfulness in every choice. The clockmaker's restored clock was a symbol of this, its steady ticks, a reminder that joy grows from intentional living. Each mindful habit, each deliberate act builds a life of balance, where the heart finds stability, where joy becomes not just a fleeting moment, but a lasting presence. This is the healing power of mindful habits, a gentle way to nurture joy, to live in harmony with the truth of who we are. But joy requires practice. Small, intentional habits can light the path to transformation. Begin today with a simple practice. Pause before you speak, letting your words rise from kindness rather than haste. Notice the urge to react quickly, to let careless words spill out, and instead, breathe. Choose words that uplift, that heal. Try savoring one moment each day, perhaps the warmth of your morning drink, the sound of birds outside, or the feel of your breath. Let this moment be enough, fully present, without rushing to the next. This practice is not grand, but powerful, a way to anchor the heart in mindfulness, to nurture joy through small, intentional acts. Each time you pause, each time you savor, you align your life with purpose, softening the weight of despair with the gentle rhythm of presence. The challenge lies in persistence, in overcoming the pull of habitual carelessness. The mind may resist, falling back into old patterns, rushing through moments, or speaking without thought. When this happens, Return gently to the practice, to the pause, to the breath. Notice the resistance without judgment, and choose again. A kind word, a mindful moment. This is the work of cultivating mindful habits, a quiet discipline that transforms the heart over time. Start small, perhaps by setting aside one moment each day to be fully present, to notice the world around you with care. This practice, like the clockmaker's steady ticks, builds a rhythm of joy, a life where each intentional act becomes a step toward peace, toward balance. This practice is a gift to yourself, a way to nurture joy in the midst of life's storms. As you pause, as you savor, you may feel moments of lightness, of clarity, where despair softens and joy takes root. Carry this practice forward, one small habit at a time, and notice how your heart responds, how stability grows from these mindful choices. The clockmaker's restored clock began with small adjustments, and so does your journey. With each intentional act, you mend the rhythm of your life, cultivating joy that endures. And so, the journey leads to reflection. Small habits can transform the heart and light the path to joy. The story of the broken clock is a mirror of your own journey, a reminder that small, mindful habits can transform despair into joy. The clockmaker's awakening, from chaos to steady rhythm, reflects the power of intentional living, of choosing actions that nurture the heart. Each mindful habit, a kind word, a savored moment, a purposeful pause, is a gear realigned, a step toward balance. Reflect on this. What habits in your life feel broken, erratic, pulling you from joy? What small, intentional act could you choose today to mend your rhythm? This reflection is not a burden, but a gentle invitation to see your life clearly, to trust that joy is possible through the smallest acts of mindfulness, through the quiet discipline of right living. The call is simple. Practice one mindful habit today. Pause before speaking. Let your words be kind. Savor a moment, perhaps the taste of your meal or the feel of the breeze. Share this experience with a friend, in a journal, or with our community. Let your journey inspire others. The clockmaker's restored clock was a gift to the village, and your mindful habits are a gift to yourself and those around you. If this story inspired you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more healing insights, and join a community seeking joy through mindful living. Your journey, like the clockmakers, is ongoing, but each intentional act, each mindful moment, brings you closer to a heart that is steady, joyful, and whole, ticking in harmony with the present. Chapter 8. Walking the Middle Path, the story of the crooked bridge. In a serene village, cradled by misty mountains and a winding river, a crooked bridge spanned the water, its planks warped and unsteady, swaying with every step. A traveler, weary from their journey, approached it daily, their heart heavy with the weight of emotional extremes. Some days, they blamed themselves harshly for every misstep, their thoughts spiraling into self-criticism. Other days, they leaned on others for validation, seeking fleeting comfort outside themselves. The bridge, like their heart, was unbalanced, its dangerous sway a mirror of a life caught between self-blame and dependency. The villagers, too, crossed it without question. Accustomed to its instability, their lives shaped by its erratic rhythm, they hurried across, ignoring its creaks, never pausing to see its flaws, just as the traveler ignored the imbalance within, letting emotional extremes guide their path. The village relied on this bridge, its crooked form woven into their daily lives. They planned their days around its unpredictable sway, adjusting to its tilts without thought. Their routines built on a shaky foundation. The traveler, too, moved through life this way, their hearts swayed by guilt one moment, craving approval the next. This was the village's rhythm, a life lived without questioning the bridge's flaws, just as the traveler did not question their own emotional swings. The bridge's instability was not just wooden planks, but a symbol of a heart unmoored, caught in extremes that deepened despair. Each step across it felt precarious, a reminder of the turmoil within, where self-blame and dependency pulled the traveler from peace, leaving them unsteady, yearning for balance. The challenge was clear. The crooked bridge reflected the traveler's emotional imbalance, a life swayed by extremes. Self-criticism weighed heavy, each thought a judgment that sank the heart deeper into shadow. Dependency, too, was a false refuge, a leaning outward that left the traveler empty when validation faded. The bridge's sway mirrored them, its planks tilting under rushed steps or clinging grips, just as the traveler's heart tilted under the weight of their extremes. Standing at the bridge's edge, the traveler felt the chaos within, the way their emotions swung from one pole to another, leaving no room for peace. This realization, soft but piercing, stirred a longing for stability, a wish to cross the bridge, and life with steady steps. Free from the pull of extremes, the traveler's journey began one quiet dawn as they stood before the bridge, feeling it sway underfoot. The creaking planks echoed their inner turmoil, the way self-blame and dependency had warped their heart's rhythm. They saw the villagers crossing, their steps unsteady yet unquestioning, and recognized their own life in this pattern, a life lacking balance, driven by emotional extremes. What if the bridge could be steadied, not by force, but by care? What if their heart, too, could find equilibrium through a new way of living? The crooked bridge was not just a path across the river. It was a mirror, reflecting a life in need of balance, a heart yearning for the calm of the middle path, where joy and stability could take root. Yet, this longing opens a deeper truth. The middle path offers a way to steady the heart. The Buddhist teaching of the middle path is a gentle guide, a call to walk between extremes to find emotional stability. Self-blame, like a heavy stone, sinks the heart into despair, while dependency, like a fleeting breeze, leaves it empty when external comfort fades. These extremes fuel instability, pulling the heart from peace. The middle path invites us to avoid these poles, to neither drown in self-criticism nor cling to others for worth. It is a path of moderation, of mindful presence, where each step is taken with clarity, each choice made with care. This balance, soft and steady, fosters resilience, allowing the heart to rest in the present, untouched by the chaos of extremes. The Buddhist insight teaches that the middle path is not about denying emotions, but about meeting them with equanimity. The traveler, caught in self-blame, felt their worth erode with every harsh thought. In dependency, they sought solace outside themselves, only to find it fleeting. The middle path offers a different way, a practice of seeing emotions without being consumed by them, of valuing the self without needing external approval. This path, rooted in mindfulness, builds a heart that is resilient, that finds peace in the balance of being. The traveler began to see this, their hearts softening as they imagined a life free from extremes, where stability grew from the quiet choice to walk the middle path, steady and whole. This practice of balance is a daily commitment, a gentle discipline that transforms the heart. By avoiding the extremes of self-criticism and dependency, we create space for clarity, for resilience, for a life where emotions no longer sway us like a crooked bridge. The traveler's longing for balance was a call to this path, a reminder that peace is found not in fighting extremes, but in walking between them, with mindfulness, with care, with the steady rhythm of the middle way. But balance requires effort. The traveler's first attempts to cross the bridge reveal the challenge. The traveler, eager to cross the crooked bridge, tried rushing across, hoping speed would outrun its sway. The planks tilted wildly, throwing them off of balance, their heart racing with fear. Next, they clung to the bridge's edges, inching forward with desperate grips. But the bridge swayed more. Its instability worsened by their frantic efforts. These attempts, born of haste or avoidance, mirrored the traveler's approach to their emotions, overreacting with self-blame or dodging pain through dependency. The villagers watched, crossing the same way, their steps unsteady, their lives swayed by the bridge's flaws. Just as the traveler's heart was swayed by unbalanced choices, these misguided efforts only deepened the bridge's sway. Just as emotional extremes deepened the traveler's instability, rushing across was like lashing out in self-criticism, a reaction that amplified pain. Clinging to the edges was like seeking external validation, a temporary fix that left the heart unsteady when it faded. The consequence was clear. The bridge remained crooked, its sway a mirror of the traveler's inner turmoil. Each failed attempt left them more shaken, their despair growing as they realized that haste and avoidance could not steady the bridge, just as overreacting or dodging emotions could not steady the heart. The traveler stood at the bridge's edge, their breath heavy, seeing that true balance required a different approach, one rooted in mindfulness, not extremes. This realization was not failure, but a step toward clarity. The traveler saw that rushing or clinging only worsened the bridge's sway, just as emotional extremes prolonged their suffering. The bridge, like their heart, needed care, not force, to find stability. This lesson, born of failed attempts, pointed to the middle path, a way of moving through life with steady steps, neither running from pain nor drowning in it. The traveler's heart softened, their resolve growing, as they understood that balance came not from fighting the bridge's flaws, but from walking it with mindful presence, with the calm of moderation. And so, the journey leads to awakening. The bridge can be steadied through mindful care. One calm evening, as the traveler stood before the crooked bridge, their heart weary from failed crossings, a wise carpenter approached, their steps steady, their eyes warm with understanding. They knelt beside the bridge, guiding the traveler's hands to realign its warped planks. to strengthen its supports with care. Together, they worked slowly, each adjustment deliberate, each plank set with intention. The bridge's sway softened, its rhythm steadied, becoming a stable path across the river. The villagers, once accustomed to chaos, crossed with ease, their days now grounded in the bridge's new balance. The bridge, once crooked, was a symbol of the traveler's awakening, a realization that their heart, too, could find stability through mindful living, through the middle path. The carpenter's quiet guidance showed them that balance was not forced, but cultivated through small, intentional acts that steadied the heart. This awakening came gently, a soft shift in the traveler's perspective. They saw that their emotional extremes, self-blame and dependency, were like the bridge's warped planks, pulling them from peace. The carpenter's presence was a reminder, a call to recognize the need for balanced living, to see each moment as a chance to choose moderation. The traveler felt their heart lift as the bridge steadied, mirroring the possibility of emotional stability in their own life. Transformation came not in grand changes, but in small, mindful steps, pausing before reacting, valuing the self without needing external approval. The bridge, now firm, was a testament to this truth. Its steady path a mirror of a heart realigned, where balance blossomed through the middle path, bringing calm where chaos once reigned. The traveler stood on the bridge, feeling its solid planks beneath their feet, their heart lighter, their mind clearer. The carpenter's wisdom had shown them that transformation was possible, that mindful balance could mend not just a bridge, but a life. Each steady step across was a reminder, a call to live with moderation, to choose responses that nurtured stability over extremes. The traveler's life, like the bridge, was finding its rhythm, a harmony born of small, intentional acts, a testament to the power of the middle path to restore balance, to bring peace to a heart once swayed by emotional storms. Yet, this transformation reveals a deeper truth. Balance fosters emotional stability and healing. The middle path is a gentle guide to emotional stability, a way to walk between extremes with mindfulness and care. Self-blame and dependency, like storms, disrupt the heart's calm, pulling it into instability. The middle path teaches moderation, inviting us to meet emotions without being consumed by them, to find worth within without leaning on others. This balance creates a steady heart, one that rests in the present, resilient to life's ups and downs. The traveler, once swayed by extremes, found peace by choosing moderation, by pausing before reacting, by valuing their own light. This is the power of the middle path, a practice that fosters clarity, that heals by grounding the heart in balance. This path of moderation is a healing force, a way to nurture stability amidst emotional storms. The traveler learned this as they walked the steadied bridge, their heart no longer pulled by self-criticism or the need for approval. Each mindful choice, each pause to breathe before reacting, was a step toward healing, a way to soften the weight of despair. The Buddhist insight reminds us that stability is not about denying emotions, but about meeting them with equanimity, with a calm that comes from living in balance. By avoiding extremes, we create space for peace, for a heart that is steady, that finds clarity in the rhythm of the present moment. This practice of balance is a daily commitment, a gentle discipline that transforms the heart over time. The traveler's steadied bridge was a symbol of this. Its solid planks a reminder that emotional stability grows from mindful moderation. Each choice to walk the middle path, to pause, to respond with care, builds a life of resilience where the heart finds peace amidst the storms. This is the healing power of balance, a way to live in harmony with the truth of who we are, steady and whole in the light of the present. But stability requires practice. A mindful reflection can guide us to the middle path. Find a quiet moment, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Reflect on a recent moment when you felt swayed by extremes, perhaps a harsh self-judgment or a need for someone's approval. See this moment clearly, like the crooked bridge swaying underfoot. Now, breathe deeply, inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling for 6, and imagine choosing a balanced response instead. Pausing before reacting. Finding worth within yourself. Picture yourself walking a steady bridge, each step mindful, neither rushing nor clinging. This is the practice of the middle path, to notice emotional extremes and choose moderation, to respond with calm instead of impulse. Practice this daily, reflecting on one moment of imbalance and choosing a balanced response, a kind thought, a steady breath. The challenge is persistence, the mind's habit of falling back into extremes, reacting impulsively or seeking external comfort. When this happens, return gently to the breath, to the reflection, without judgment. Notice the pull of self-blame or dependency and choose again. A mindful pause, a balanced response. This practice is not about perfection, but about presence, about building a habit of moderation that steadies the heart. Start small, perhaps by pausing once today before reacting, noticing your emotions without letting them sway you. This reflection, like the traveler's steady steps, builds a rhythm of balance, a life where stability grows from mindful choices, where peace takes root in the heart. This practice is a gift, a way to walk the middle path through life's storms. As you reflect, as you choose balance, you may feel moments of calm, of clarity, where instability softens and peace emerges. Carry this practice forward, one mindful response at a time, and notice how your heart responds, how stability grows from these small acts. The traveler's steadied bridge began with careful adjustments, and so does your journey. With each mindful choice, you walk a path of balance, cultivating a heart that is resilient, peaceful, and well. And so, the journey leads to reflection. Balance brings peace and resilience to the heart. The story of the crooked bridge is a mirror of your own heart, a reminder that balance, through the middle path, brings emotional peace and resilience. The traveler's journey from a swaying bridge to a steady path reflects the power of mindful moderation, of choosing responses that neither sink into self-blame nor lean on external validation. Each balanced choice, each mindful pause, is a plank realigned, a step toward stability. Reflect on this. What extremes sway your heart? Where do you rush into judgment or cling to approval? This reflection is not a burden, but a gentle invitation to see your life clearly, to trust that peace is possible through the small, mindful acts of the middle path, through the quiet rhythm of balance. The call is simple. Practice moderation today. Pause before reacting to a moment of frustration. Choose a kind thought instead of criticism. Find worth within instead of seeking it outside. Share this journey with a friend, in a journal, or with our community. Let your story of balance inspire others. The traveler's steadied bridge was a gift to the village, and your mindful choices are a gift to yourself and those around you. If this story brought clarity, subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more healing insights and join a community seeking balance through the middle path. Your journey, like the travelers, is ongoing, but each mindful step, each balanced choice, brings you closer to a heart that is peaceful, resilient, and whole, walking steadily in the light of the present. Chapter 9: Breaking the Cycle of Negative Thoughts. The mind, when caught in depression, weaves a heavy web, each thread a negative thought that tightens loneliness and despair. These thoughts loop endlessly, whispering failure, isolation, hopelessness. They feel like truth, yet they are only patterns, fleeting clouds that obscure the sky of the mind. The Buddhist path offers a gentle tool: awareness, the simple act of observing thoughts without clinging to them. By watching these patterns, we see them for what they are, not the self, but passing waves. This awareness is a soft light, breaking the cycle by showing us we are not our thoughts. They arise, they fade, and we remain whole and untouched. To awaken to this is to step out of the loop, to find a quiet space where the mind can rest, unburdened by its own stories. This practice begins with a pause, a breath, a moment of seeing clearly. The cycle weakens when we stop feeding it, when we meet each thought with calm observation, letting it pass like a breeze through an open window. In a quiet village, a scribe sat hunched over his desk, his quill heavy with unwritten words. Each day, his mind spun the same tale. I am a failure. I am alone. No one sees me. These thoughts were like ink stains, spreading across his heart, darkening every moment. He felt trapped, each thought pulling him deeper into despair, a cycle that seemed unbreakable. The more he dwelled on his loneliness, the heavier it grew, a burden he could not set down. He wrote and rewrote his failures, his isolation, believing these words defined him. The village bustled outside, yet he felt unseen, locked in his own mind. His struggle was not the thoughts themselves, but his belief in them, his clinging to their weight. Each night, he sat by his window, staring at the stars, yearning for freedom, yet caught in the same loop of sorrow. The scribe's heart ached. He felt stuck, drowning in a story he could not stop writing. Yet, in his quiet moments, a faint question stirred. Could there be a way to set down the quill, to step beyond this cycle? The Buddhist teachings offer a path to freedom, not by fighting negative thoughts, but by seeing them clearly. Awareness is the key, recognizing thoughts as separate from the self, like leaves floating on a stream. When we observe without attachment, we stop feeding the cycle of negativity. A thought of despair arises. We see it, name it, let it pass. It is not us. It is only a moment, fleeting and impermanent. This practice creates space, a quiet clarity where the mind can rest. Freedom comes not from erasing thoughts, but from releasing their grip, from understanding they do not define us. Each moment of awareness weakens the loop. Like sunlight dissolving mist, the mind, once clouded, begins to clear, revealing a stillness beneath. This is the heart of liberation. To watch the storm of thoughts without being swept away. To stand in the calm center of the self, untouched by the cycle's pull. To break the cycle, try this gentle practice. Sit quietly. Close your eyes and take a slow breath. Notice a thought as it arises, perhaps one of loneliness or failure. Label it softly, thinking, and let it drift like a leaf on water. Do not fight it. Do not cling. Just watch it pass. If it returns, label it again, thinking, and return to your breath. The challenge is persistence. The mind will wander. Old patterns will pull. Yet, each time you pause, you create space, a moment of freedom from the loop. This practice is not about stopping thoughts, but about changing your relationship with them. Sit for a few minutes each day, observing, labeling, letting go. With time, the cycle weakens. The thoughts lose their weight, and clarity emerges. This is your path to freedom, a quiet pause that opens the door to peace, a space where the mind can rest, unburdened and still. Chapter 10. Thoughts are like passing clouds. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence whispers a gentle truth. Nothing lasts forever, not even our deepest sorrows. Loneliness and sadness, heavy as they feel, are like clouds drifting across a vast sky. They arise, they linger, they pass. When we cling to these emotions, believing them to be permanent, we trap ourselves in suffering, mistaking fleeting shadows for solid truth. Yet, impermanence offers relief, a reminder that no pain endures unchanging. By seeing emotions as transient, we loosen their grip, allowing the heart to breathe. The mind, once clouded by despair, begins to clear. When we stop holding on to what is not meant to stay, this awakening is simple. Watch the cloud of sadness. Notice its edges soften, its form shift. It is not you. It is not forever. With each breath, impermanence reveals itself, a quiet promise that even the darkest emotions will fade, leaving the sky of the mind open and free. This truth, soft and steady, lights the path to peace, inviting us to rest in the flow of what passes. High on a hill, a sky watcher sat, his eyes fixed on a heavy cloud of sadness that seemed to stretch endlessly. Each day, he gazed at it, believing its weight was eternal, his loneliness a fixed star in his heart. He felt trapped, convinced this pain would never lift, that it defined him. The stars he loved were hidden, the sky's vastness lost to his sorrow. His thoughts circled, I am alone. This will never end. Each one tightening the grip of despair. The village below glowed with light, yet he felt unseen, locked in a belief that his pain was unchangeable. His struggle was not the sadness itself, but his conviction that it would last forever. A burden he carried like a stone. Yet, one evening, a breeze stirred, and the cloud shifted, just slightly, revealing a glimpse of clear sky. A question flickered in his heart. Could this pain, too, be passing? Could the sky still be vast beyond it? To see emotions as impermanent is to find freedom, like watching clouds drift across an endless sky. Loneliness, depression. These are not solid, not you. They are fleeting shapes, forming and dissolving in the mind's vastness. The Buddhist path teaches us to let go, to observe emotions without clinging, without believing they define us. When we see sadness as a cloud, we stop fighting it, stop fearing it. We simply watch it move. This shift brings liberation. The heart no longer tethered to pain's story. Each emotion, like a cloud, has its moment, then passes, leaving the sky untouched. This practice softens loneliness, lightens depression. As we learn to rest in the spaciousness of the mind, freedom comes not from pushing pain away, but from seeing its nature, impermanent, fleeting, not ours to hold. The sky watcher began to see this, his gaze softening, his heart opening to the truth that even the heaviest clouds would not stay, that beneath them, the sky of his soul remained clear, vast, and free. Find a quiet moment, sit comfortably, and close your eyes, letting your breath settle like a soft wind. Picture your mind as a vast sky, open and boundless. See your thoughts and emotions as clouds, some light, some heavy, drifting across this sky. Notice a feeling, perhaps loneliness or sadness, and name it gently. Cloud. Watch it without holding on, without pushing it away. Let it float. Let it change. If it lingers, breathe and name it again. Cloud. Trusting it will pass. The practice is to rest in the sky, not the clouds, to see emotions as fleeting, not fixed. The challenge is patience. The mind may cling, may wander, but return to the sky, to the breath. With each moment of watching, you create space, a freedom from attachment to fleeting feelings. This meditation, simple and steady, opens the heart to peace, reminding you that you are the sky, vast and untouched, holding all clouds with ease. The 10 teachings of this journey, from the silent well to the passing clouds, offer steps toward healing loneliness and depression. Each chapter, a gentle guide, shows us how to clear the vines of pain, build a sanctuary within, and see thoughts as fleeting. The well taught us patience. The clouds taught us impermanence. Together, they remind us peace is within, waiting to be uncovered. Your heart, like the sky, is vast, capable of holding pain and letting it pass. Take one teaching today, perhaps watching the clouds, and practice it with kindness. Sit with your breath. Notice a thought. Let it drift. Share your experience. How did the practice touch you? How did it soften your heart? This journey is yours. Each step, a move toward clarity. If this story brought you peace, subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more healing stories. Begin now. Take a breath. Watch a cloud and step into the spaciousness of your own soul, where peace is always waiting.